We are going to talk about reimagining the lead to lease process with our director of product, Sue Gadam. Give her over there a wave. Sue has been with us for the last 3 years and has over a decade of product experience. She used to actually helm the Rentsync software. She knows everything about the Rentsync platform, but is currently in the middle of transitioning over to the Rentals network team, which means she'll be working a lot more with me. Don't look too excited. So let's give a warm welcome. She's our only Vancouver local who joined us today. So she has a lot of great things to say about this market specifically. So big warm welcome.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sue. It's so nice to be here today on the sunny day. Thank you for joining us. Now that all these boring sessions are over, no offense, guys, we can finally get to the best sessions of today's roadshow. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about how we can reimagine the lead to lease process and where our imagination or maybe our over-imagination has taken us. All right, let's take a quick look at the prospect tenant situation. As we've been learning from everything today, there are two major trends that are driving the rental market, right? One is just the low housing supply available to tenants, and two is the unaffordability of rental prices among tenants. If you look at the renter population, it is made up of the Gen Z generation. Fun fact, I'm not a Gen Z. But these Gen Zs, they're digital natives. They grew up with smartphones. They grew up with access to high-speed internet. They grew up with social media. The expectations that they have is instant access to information. They want seamless visual experiences. But they also value convenience. They value transparency. They value efficiency. And a lot of their rental choices, they're heavily influenced by the digital tools and resources that are available to them. Whether they are looking at detailed property listings, whether they are requesting for a virtual tour, whether they're reading reviews online, they all want to do this on their phones, and they want to do it within just a few button clicks. Now, some of these trends, they do significantly impact the leasing process. How does that? Let me give you a few examples. One, because the market is highly competitive, now there are definitely more applications per rental unit, which means that now you have to spend more resources on the process to make sure that you are screening every one of those applications and getting them to sign the lease. Also, because Gen Zs, they prefer co-living spaces, obviously it also enables better affordability. There are also multiple leaseholders for a single unit. Again, more resources spent screening them, making sure all the documents are uploaded, making sure the lease is signed. And although more and more people, they do opt to upload their documents online today, they also want to keep their information private because the other people that they're leasing with, they're not necessarily friends or family members or people that they deeply trust. It's maybe someone they found on Facebook Marketplace who's looking for another roommate, right? So they do want to make sure that their sensitive information is kept private. Now, looking at this background, there are lots of different challenges that we face in today's leasing process. With the convenience of technology, we have now hundreds, if not thousands of could-be potential tenants reaching out to us. That basically means that at any given point in time, you are having multiple ongoing conversations. The onus is often on the leasing agents or the property managers to ensure you're gathering all the information, you're uploading all this information into the system, you're getting all the documents you need. Just a sheer workload of getting the tenant from the intro stage all the way to a signed lease. Now, if you're looking at your leasing pipeline and it's being managed through different multiple systems, there are those many potential points of breakdown, right? There are multiple data entries that you have to do as staff members. There are multiple data entries that your prospects have to do. Communication is often delayed. And sometimes they're not even in one place. They're all over the place. It's difficult to track. Your reporting and data metrics, they're incomplete just because they're in so many different places. It doesn't really render a holistic picture of how your leasing process is performing. There are other issues as well, because at the end of the day, you are working with a lot of manual processes. There's not that much automation, and there's a lot of back and forth that happens between the leasing agent and the tenant. This makes the process so much longer, and it often takes days, if not weeks, to process a prospect into a tenant. All right, now let's imagine an ideal lead-to-leads process. A prospect comes in, inquiring about a rental, and they start like a two-way conversation, right? Now the two-way conversation starts with, it can start with like an email, a call, a text. It can come in through your website. It can come in through a listing that you have on, say on Rentals.ca. It can come in through anywhere. But you're able to track that conversation all the way from interest to the signed lease in one place. And because you're able to track this in one place, now we're also having the reporting and the data to back that up. Now you're able to view a holistic picture of your performance through the entire pipeline. Here, you can also now make sure that documents are uploaded by multiple people. The lease and rental applications both are signed by multiple people and are also kept private from each other if that's how tenants want it. Right? You don't need multiple data entries between each stage of the leasing pipeline. It is all auto-populated because it goes through one unified platform. It goes through one unified flow. All right. Now, because of this recent merger that we've had with Building Stack, I'm beyond stoked to introduce this industry-first product that we have, that I'm sure will not just revolutionize the leasing process, but our renters will really resonate with it. Instant leases. Now, imagine we taking this a step further. Imagine we take the streamlined process a step further. Where you take every point of the leasing stage and you not only simplify it, but you automate it. Let me show you. So think of this, you're a tenant, right? Or you're a prospective tenant, you're looking to move and you are looking at listings on, say, Rentals.ca. Obviously, you're on your phone. You look at that listing, you have all of the information that you need right there, right? It includes all the rent, the amenities. It also includes a recorded virtual tour. It also includes say an interactive floor plan navigator, right? Now you know how the unit looks, how the unit feels. You have everything you need. Now in this highly competitive market, why do you want to wait, right? You can submit a lease and you can sign the application all in one single flow. As the tenant, on the landlord side, as the leasing agent or the property manager, all you have to do is click a button. In that click of the button, you are now reviewing all of the tenant's information, and if everything is in order, you can approve and sign the lease, right? How does this happen? Now, when the prospect fills out all of this information, all they're doing is they are filling out a simple contact form on the listing site, right? But they get an email that starts them off on the end-to-end leasing process, right? So the first step is they fill out the whole tenant application. That's done, right? Wherein they upload all of their documents, they gather all that information, everything is put together. Then you can also automatically order a credit check. Credit check done. Then you can also ensure that they make online payments. So if you have your deposit and say your first month's rent or your 2 months rent that has to be paid up front, even that can be completed online. And then they are ready to sign the lease. They can also continue and go ahead and sign the lease. Now, once all that is done, right, it's a self-serve process and the tenant now completes every part of that process on their own with very little help from leasing agents, right? There will be exceptions, and if you look at the side there are so many customizable settings that we can have in this process with every stage that you can set up the process tailored to what you need in the sequence of events that it needs to happen. Now, with this, the tenant signing the lease. Now, on the landlord side, you have all of the information of the prospect in one place. You have their documents uploaded, their credit check is done, you see that their payments have been completed, and the lease is signed. So all you have to do is then review all that information, make sure it's in order, and you sign the lease, and that's it. That's done. This is where we're heading towards, right? This is one of the trends where now we're shifting the onus of all the responsibility being on the leasing agents or the property managers to get the tenant from the interest stage all the way to a signed lease, more to them, right? The tenant themselves are now taking that onus and making sure that they have everything they need and are booking that rental. It should be as easy as booking a hotel room on Airbnb. It should be that simple. Now, not only are you saving your your team's time and resources, you're also providing your tenants with a very simple, streamlined experience, right? It's fast because obviously you're making quick decisions. It's seamless because it's all in one single flow. It's very straightforward. They have all the information that they need. And overall, it makes them happy, right? Whether they get through the rental or not, at least they have that decision to say, okay, I'm not able to get this rental unit, so I'm going to try for the next one. So it happens very quickly. I think the two main takeaways that I have from this slide is we're shifting the focus from just the quantity of prospects to the quality of prospects. From the hundreds of applications that you get every day, you want to find the very best tenants and you want to give them the very best user experience. The second part of this is that you want to see how this is impacting your leasing process. You want the data, the reporting, the metrics to show you how your end-to-end lease process is working. You want to see the entire funnel on how your tenants are coming through your leasing pipeline and through all of the stages to finally the stage where the lease is signed. Looking to the future. So, as I said, with the convenience of technology at our fingertips, there's so much more that we can do. Instant leases is just like the tip of the iceberg. With automations in place, you can do so much more, right? The heavy lifting now shifts to these automations, shifts to the technology that's put in place. So it gives you more time to work on things that you would like to do or high value work that you should be doing. And of course, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will be one of those game changers that will not just initiate conversations, but make it more interactive and complete conversations by its own. And with more customization, you want to make your end-to-end lead-to-lease process more robust, but you also want to make it customizable. You want to make it flexible. You want to make it so efficient that ultimately your tenants are the happiest people. As these trends set in and take their own shape and form, we will start to see better renter insights. And these better renter insights will help us shape and evolve our own processes and our success metrics. But it will also give us the path forward of where we see the future. I'll leave you with a little bit of food for thought and also maybe a little bit of imagination of your own. Think about your own leasing process and think about what parts of that process you don't want to do, right? The steps in the process that take a lot of time, take a lot of effort, that are very repetitive. These actions can be automated. So when you think about what parts of the process you can automate, it will give you a lot more time to do the things that you actually want to be doing. And with that, I wrap up. Thank you all for joining me today. I'll see you all tomorrow.
What do you love about Vancouver?
The beautiful sunny weather, obviously.
Yeah.
I love Vancouver. I actually moved in the middle of the pandemic when everything was shut down, and the nature and the beauty surrounding Vancouver really stole my heart. And that is usually how my weekends go, especially in the summer. Take a hike and enjoy the beautiful weather.
Questions are going to get a lot tougher than that, though.
Sure.
So just so you know. Okay, so what kind of reporting can we expect to see with Instant Lease?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. Now, I think the main thing that we have here is because you are going through the entire lease pipeline in one unified platform, there is so much data available. You can measure your entire lease pipeline. If you want more granular insights, you can even look at every single stage of the leasing pipeline and see how each one's performing. You can also measure the agent's response time and see what's working and what's not working in the leasing process.
The Instant Lease is a game changer for us, and
Yep.
it's obviously going to be a major part of our pipeline moving forward, much as you moving over to the rentals network. How are you feeling about that transition? How's it been? What are you excited for? And you can say just working with me more, but whatever it is, what are you looking forward to about this?
I think the teams are all great. And I see that, especially with I think Max's leadership, we've seen a lot of these teams come closer together. We're starting to find a lot of synergies between the platform, a lot of synergies between Building Stack as the merger has happened and the platforms are integrating together, and obviously the rentals network. So I think with the entire lease-to-lease pipeline now, there are lots of synergies that we can have with the listing sites. Like I was mentioning, we are looking at changing up our amenities a little bit more. And so now we can talk about, okay, what kind of amenities are our tenants looking for and what kind of amenities we can provide to our clients, and then make that a searchable criteria on listing sites. So a lot of synergies like that can be found, and my role here, I hope, is bringing those synergies together.
You can do whatever you want. If there's no doubt, something in your site, you're going to get it done. So, not doubting you on that. I think as our Vancouver local, you're really insightful for the topics for today and the conversations we need to have. And I couldn't be more excited to get to know you a little bit more working together. So I'm excited for our future. Everybody, she's our Vancouver local. Let's give one round of applause for Sue.